How's it going, everyone? We've been playing the Japanese Blue Protocol beta. We're quite a few hours deep in now, and as you can see, I'm in basically the hub, the town, the main village or city of the game, and there's a whole bunch of stuff to do here and different mechanics of the game that are super important to its overall flow and the way that it plays. So I figured, since many people aren't playing right now, and here's the UI on, by the way, it's quite clean without the UI, but since many of you guys are probably interested in sort of what's going on with this game and how it works and the different systems in it, I figured I would show you guys around the hub, explain some of these systems, some of the different mechanics of the game and the different vendors and how they function and work, so you get an overall idea of Blue Protocol. And we're going to have other videos on the channel coming soon, so definitely stay subscribed to check them out and hit that like button because it lets YouTube know we exist and it really helps the video out, so you can support us by hitting that like button. But as you can see here from the map, this is basically the entire area, and every single yellow icon here is essentially something to interact with. It's a type of vendor. You can see there's some repeat ones of the same type. So this repeated one is like your storage, for example. But I'm going to take you guys around a few different areas and show you some of the important mechanics. But these are also the fast travel points, which you unlock by finding them. So there's probably a couple more that I haven't found just yet. But they will allow you to quickly teleport around the city, which is quite a lifesaver because sometimes you do have to go back and forth for different quests. I'm actually playing the Spell Weaver, which is like the mage, so this is my class right now. But you can actually change your class on your character at pretty much not any time, but whenever you want, more or less. So in here is like the Adventurers Guild. It's the Adventurers building, and this is a place that you're going to be coming quite often as you're leveling up and playing the game. It's essentially where you're going to be picking up your quests. So particularly this character here is going to be giving you a ton of side quests as you go through, and this is going to be your main source of XP as you're leveling. I say side quests. It's not too clear which ones are main quests and which ones are side quests, but you can see here this one gives like 1,000 XP, and then these ones in red are ones that I can't do just yet. I need to basically progress a bit further, but this one gives even more, 2,700. Some of them give really low amounts of XP like this one, but it's because they're more so explaining a system within the game. Obviously, everything's in Japanese, and I don't really understand Japanese all that well, so it is a bit of a struggle sometimes, but hopefully I can explain things well enough. You can see here more things explaining, gather a few things or kill a few things. But this lady here will be giving you a lot of quests as you go through. And there's also other quests that you'll pick up and other characters that you'll interact with, like this guy in here, that will be giving you quests. But this sort of central area and this fast travel point is going to be a go-to for doing some questing. But there's a bunch of vendors that you will want to know about, and one of them's actually in here. So if you don't like the appearance of your character, for example, you can basically just buy a whole new set of armor that looks different. So my character actually looks quite different from what I started as. But you can see here you can buy all different kinds of sets. They're not even too expensive, like 200 each. I've already bought a full set. I've already bought multiple weapons, which I'll show you guys the weapon vendor in a minute because it's quite important for how you change classes. But there's all different kinds of appearance options. I'm not too sure at this point in the game how they tie into your stats and your skills and stuff like that. It looks like they're mostly just for appearance now, but obviously we're still quite early on. I'm level 7, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you do level very slowly. So level 7 is, you know, a good many hours into the game already. I'm actually going to take you guys up here next to show you the weapon vendor, because that is going to be how you basically change between the classes in the game by equipping different weapons. So got a ton of weapons on the wall here. This whole area reminds me of the blacksmith from Sword Art Online quite a lot. But if we check out the vendor, you can see that you can just straight up buy a weapon for each different type. So these different weapons correlate to the classes. So you got like I can't remember the exact name of the classes right now off the top of my head, but you got like the bow class, you got the twin striker class, the Aegis fighter class, the spell weaver that I'm on, and then you've got the heavy destroyer, I think. So you can buy these for 200, and I'll show you crafting later on, which is how you get even stronger and better weapons. But if you just buy them and then you're in a town, you can essentially open up your character here and you can basically change weapon. You can see a lot of my stats are changing because I have a crafted like level 2 staff, but we could switch between weapons and it would basically allow us to switch between the classes, which is pretty cool because you can see on this screen, so these are all my abilities as a mage, but up here you can see I'm a level 7 Spellweaver and level 1 on everything else, but this is actually where you can see the skills and your levels for those other classes. So the weapon vendor's pretty good because early on, that's going to be your easiest way to switch class. But then later on, you're going to want to do some crafting, which is going to be down here in this area, so we'll just run there. Because that's how you're going to make better weapons, and the weapons and the crafting mechanics in general are where a lot of the depth of Blue Protocol comes in. There's different stats, there's different perks, and all kinds of stuff that goes into the weapons, and it's kind of like random when you craft it, and then you can get slots on them where you can slot additional things in them. But this giant device here is where you can actually do some crafting, so you can make some potions and stuff, but you can also make weapons here. So here you can see some of the different weapons that you can make. It looks like I've actually unlocked some new stuff now that so I haven't been here in a little while. But you can see we've actually got some new weapons that we can craft that actually look visually completely different, which is really cool. You can see I don't quite have all the materials to craft this new staff, which is level 10. This would be a big damage bonus. I'm going to have to go and farm these parts out. But this is where you make much better weapons than the weapon vendor. That is more so for switching classes early on, trying different things out. And here is where you make things that really impact your class. So you get perks, you get slots, you got stats on them. It looks like these ones have an elemental damage type. You see these are nothing. These are like lightning damage. So the weapon and the crafting depth is super interesting in this and goes pretty deep, but obviously it's all in Japanese, so I haven't fully got my head wrapped around it. We mentioned earlier the storage, so when you find these like little house icons which are all over the place, you can check out your storage, which will have, you know, all your potions, your dyes, your different crafting materials and stuff in that you can manage in there. But that's not even it, there's more stuff. So this icon over here, I'll show you the fast travel. You fast travel back to this point. You can actually change your character's appearance, which I think is also pretty in-depth, even down to like your character's voice, their hair, all that kind of stuff from this vendor over here, which I think does need tickets, and I'm not exactly sure on how you get these tickets. I think you get one when you unlock this, which is quite early on in the game. So you can see here it needs like this ticket. It looks like there's another kind of ticket that you can do a different kind of customization, but I've got this ticket here, which looks like it allows you to basically change your eyes, your face shape, your hair color, your voice, and a bunch of other things here. But you can essentially get, let's go through and see if we can tweak our character, because I kind of made my character in a bit of a rush just so that I could play. But oh wow, these different presets, I don't even remember clicking on these initially. These look like different presets. I'm worried if I click on it if it will overwrite all my base stuff, but let's have a little look and see different presets. You can really change your character quite a lot. We've already done a video on the character customization in the past with the benchmark that you could download, so you guys probably know how in-depth this all goes. You can really make some interesting looking characters. If I go back here, is that going to be... so there's my character. I like this blonde looking character here. Let's see what else we can change. Yes. Change the face shape. Oh no, this is... Wow. Okay, you can completely change the body type. And make the height completely different. But you guys have seen all of this stuff already, so... Let's just... Should we just lock this in? Let's lock this in. Oh, there's a lot of things I don't... Yeah, we shouldn't have come in here, guys. There's a lot of things I don't quite understand. There we go. We use our ticket. We'll change our character. So there you go. I'm not exactly sure how you get these tickets, but you can change it, which is nice. Maybe it will be in the... Do you think it could be a cash shop item, or do you think it could be like a dungeon reward? I'm not too sure, but it's cool that they have that functionality nonetheless. And there's another thing in this town that I also really want to show you guys, which I think some people will be really happy about, particularly those that like the sort of maybe life skills is how you call it in most MMOs. Oh, it looks really nice with the sun right there. I've not actually seen the sunset like this in the village just yet, so that's pretty cool. So you can see there's a bunch of stuff in the town. I'll take you up, let's just go up here as well, because there's a really cool giant sort of what I think is a cathedral of some kind, which is absolutely massive. You do a few quests in here, but you can see this giant building as well. I think it's only just for like quests. There's a few side quests that take you up here as well, but it's obviously this giant building, and you can sort of see it when you're out in the world over there along the cliffs, which you can explore. You can look back and you can see this building quite clearly. But I wanted to take you guys down to the fishing, because I know some people love their life skills, their gathering. There's a lot of gathering in this because the crafting is quite important, like we mentioned before about weapons. But there's also fishing, and I'm not exactly sure how the fishing ties into things. You basically get to keep the fish that you fish. So maybe there's a cooking mechanic or a buff mechanic that you can make with the fish. There's no fall damage, at least in this town as well, by the way, so you can really just jump off things and do it as you like. But if we come down here, you can see all these little white spots are to fish, which is how you do it. There was a side quest to fish, which I've already completed. It gave some good XP. But I'll show you guys a fishing real quick. This minigame was actually really hard the first time, but I've done it a couple times now, so I've kind of got the gist of it. And the way that it works is you basically wait until you get a bite, and then we need to reel it in while also managing a line of tension. So by holding click, I can reel it in, but I also have to make sure I don't snap the tension line. So I've got to balance reeling it in and also leading where the fish is going. So you can see he's going over to the right, so I need to press over to the right-hand side. And we got him. So trust me, it's way harder than it looks, especially the first time you do it, but there is fishing in this as well. And obviously it's all in Japanese, so I'm yet to find out all of the nuances of the different mechanics. But since we had a bunch of fun playing and leveling, I thought you guys, you guys might want to see around the town hub and sort of get to grips with the game, because the crafting mechanic, the way the questing works, the different vendors to switch classes. There is a dye vendor as well to customize like your appearance. It has stuff like fishing, you've got storage and all these different kind of things. Fast travel points, you can even fast travel out into the open world if you've unlocked other fast travel points that you can see I have on the map. Lots of the map yet still to discover. But I thought you guys would like to be caught up to speed with what's going on in Blue Protocol. And since we're sort of wrapping up our day one in the game, I thought you guys might be interested. And make sure to hit that like button. If you want more Blue Protocol videos on the channel, we'll bring it to you guys. Let us know what you want to see in the comments down below. Do you want to see our impressions? Do you want to see our sort of class breakdowns for the different classes we're playing? We'll hook you guys up if you let us know what you want to see. And the two videos on screen now, we think you'll really enjoy if you did enjoy this one. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you did enjoy this video, you're probably going to enjoy these ones too. And then tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.